after what was allegedly a Ukrainian drone hit on fuel tanks at a Russian Navy base. A massive fire in the Crimean port city of Sevastopol on Saturday was put out. Social media users shared video of a sizable waterside area that was on fire with a column of black smoke rising from the burning fuel. The fire was later put out, according to Mikhail Razvozhev, the governor installed in Moscow. According to a Ukrainian military intelligence official, more than 10 oil tanks with a combined capacity of around 40,000 tons that were destined for the Russian Black Sea Fleet were destroyed. At least 26 people have died as a result of Russian aerial raids on Ukrainian cities early on Friday, including 5 children, according to Kyiv, which claimed that preparations for a counteroffensive against Moscow's forces were almost complete. In the central town of Uman, where a Russian missile had struck a domestic flat, firefighters battled a fire there while rescuers combed through a massive mound of burning rubble in search of survivors. A local governor reported that 2 citizens perished as a result of Ukrainian shelling on a village in the Bryansk region of Russia on Saturday night. Governor Alexander Bogomaz posted on the Telegram messaging app. According to preliminary information, 1 residential building was completely destroyed, and 2 more houses were partially destroyed. Emergency services are still on the scene working. Attacks inside of Russia and on Ukrainian territory under Russian control are rarely acknowledged officially by Ukraine. Nancy Pelosi has spoken about her surprise visit to Ukraine just after the Russian invasion had begun. Pelosi and other lawmakers were ushered secretly into Kyiv, via a route that she will not divulge. It was dangerous, Pelosi told the Associated Press before Sunday's 1-year anniversary of that trip. We never feared about it, but we thought we could die because we're visiting a serious war zone. She added of the fight. We must win. We must bring this to a positive conclusion, for the people of Ukraine and for our country, Pelosi said. There is a fight in the world now between democracy and autocracy. Its manifestation at the time is in Ukraine. In a Saturday interview, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky declared that if the Russians had attacked his Kyiv offices at the outset of the war, he would have carried a gun and died fighting alongside his inner circle. Russian intelligence units allegedly attempted to enter Kyiv in the early days of the invasion on February 24, 2022, but were thwarted and were unable to reach Bankova Street in the city's core, where the presidential offices are located. I'm a proficient shooter. Can you envision a headline that reads, "The President of Ukraine is kidnapped by Russians. This is shameful. I think that would be a disgrace," he said, according to the 1+1 television station. The UK Ministry of Defence (MOD) stated on Saturday that there is a chance that the Russian missiles that struck Ukraine on Friday were an effort to sabotage freshly delivered military equipment and reserve forces from Ukraine. The MOD reported that Moscow had launched the first significant wave of cruise missile strikes against Ukraine since early March 2023. In its intelligence update, at least 25 people were killed in the shelling, which was a change from Russia's employment of long-range strikes that targeted energy facilities throughout the winter, it claimed. The city of Novaya Kakhovka was allegedly being subjected to intense artillery fire by Ukrainian forces on Saturday, which cut off the city's electricity, according to Russian occupying authorities in southern Ukraine. Novaya Kakhovka and settlements surrounding the district are under very intense artillery fire from the armed forces of Ukraine, the city's administration wrote on Telegram. The Russian-controlled portion of the southern Kherson region includes Novaya Kakhovka. The European Commission reported that 5 EU nations had reached an agreement to permit the transit of Ukrainian food exports, following temporary prohibitions that were put in place in response to farmer protests. The deal with Bulgaria, Hungary, Poland, Romania, and Slovakia is timely given restrictions on grain exports from Ukraine via the Black Sea, which force overland exports via the nation's neighbors. On Saturday, Russia pledged to retaliate forcefully against Poland for allegedly illegally seizing its embassy school in Warsaw, an act it deemed to be a gross breach of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Police reportedly appeared outside the Russian embassy school on Kieleka Street in Warsaw on Saturday morning, according to an earlier report by Polish state-run news outlet TVP Info. Sergei Andreev, the Russian ambassador to Poland, said on Saturday that the action was unlawful, but Poland insisted that it was within its rights to reclaim the facility.